Hi everyone and welcome to this power yoga class. Just step on your mat and let us start. Okay, before we start, let me actually tell you, we're going to do quite some planks. If it's getting too much for you at a certain point, you can of course simply go down on your knees and do the same exercise with your knees on the ground. Also, if you need to, you can always get into a child's pose, take some breaths, and then you just restart. Let's start with some sun salutations. We will start off with an easier version of the sun salutation. Of course, you can keep on doing this version for the remaining ones as well. Step at the top of your mat with your feet closed. Then inhale, raise your arms, and with your exhalation, you bend forward. Inhale, lift your chest up, and with your exhalation, you step back into a plank position. From there, you lower your knees, and then you bring your whole body down to the ground. Inhale, get into a cobra position, lift only out of your back, and then with your exhalation, you get into a downward facing dog. Our feet are hip width apart and we have our fingers spread wide so that you can distribute your whole weight evenly into the tips of your fingers. Push your weight back over your heels, and then with your inhalation we step forward between our hands. Exhale, bend forward. Inhale, come up again, arms above your head, gaze towards your thumb, and then exhale, bring your arms down. And we continue with the second round. Engage your legs, draw in your belly, shoulders back, and then with your inhalation, you raise your arms, look to your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold. Now with your inhalation, you lift up your chest. With your exhalation, you step back into a plank position and lower down into chaturanga. If it's necessary, you bring your knees to the ground and lower your whole body until you're lying flat on the ground. From chaturanga, with your inhalation, you come into an upward facing dog. Otherwise, you again take the cobra position. Exhale, downward facing dog. Your weight is distributed evenly into your hands and your belly is drawn inwards. Your chin goes closer to your chest. You stay here for a couple of breaths. Calm and steady breath. Make your spine as long as possible. Inhale, step between your hands, chest up. Exhale, bend forward. Inhale, you come up again with your arms above your head, gaze towards your thumb, and exhale, arms down. Once more, inhale, lift up your arms, gaze towards your thumb, exhale, bend forward. Inhale, lift up your chest, and exhale. If you want to, you can start jumping back or you walk back once more. Get into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Try to push your heels towards the ground, but it doesn't matter if your heels are not reaching the ground. Just try to increase the stretch in the back of your legs. Feet are again hip width apart. Draw in your belly. Try to look towards your thighs or even towards your belly button. Inhale, walk or jump between your hands. Then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up all the way, arms above your head. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, raise your arms, gaze towards your thumb. Exhale, bend forward. Inhale, lift up your chest. Exhale, get back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Even if it's strenuous, try to breathe slowly and deeply. Pull in your navel once more and breathe into your chest. Feel the length in your body, feel the length in your spine. Your arms build one line with your back and you push the floor away from you so that your hips go further back over your heels. Inhale, jump between your hands, chest is lifted up, and then exhale, bring your chest down, forward fold. Inhale, come up all the way, arms above your head, and then exhale, arms down. One more round. Inhale, bring your arms up, gaze towards your thumb. Exhale, bend forward. Inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale, jump back into chaturanga. And then from there, with your inhalation, you come into upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Calm and steady breath. Your neck is relaxed, or actually you try once more to pull your chin towards your chest. Your fingers are spread wide and you distribute your whole weight evenly into your hands up until your fingertips. Inhale, jump forward, lift up your chest. Exhale, bend down, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up, lift up your arms, gaze towards your thumb. Exhale, arms down. We're not yet done with our warm-up. We will do another type of a sun salutation. Inhale, bend your knees, sit deep, stretch your arms above your head, gaze towards your thumb. Exhale, bend forward. Inhale, lift up your chest, and now exhale. Once more, we get back into chaturanga. Now inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot steps between your hands, left foot is turned 45 degrees forward, and then you bring your arms up. Exhale, you get down again into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, right one turn forward, then lift up your chest and your arms. Exhale, you come down into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now we try to rest in our downward facing dog, so try to calm down your breath. Remember that you want to breathe slowly and steady into your chest. Draw your belly button inwards and feel the stretch. Try to relax in this position. Inhale, jump forward with your chest lifted up, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees, sit deep, raise your arms, and then exhale, get up and bring your arms down. One more round. Inhale, bend your knees, get in a seated position, raise your arms, gaze towards your thumb. Exhale, bend forward. Inhale, lift up your chest, and then exhale, you come back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot forward, lift up your chest, raise your arms. Exhale, we come down into chaturanga. And then inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, lift your upper body, lift your arms. And then exhale, go down into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Calm and steady breath. Your neck stays relaxed, your chin towards your chest. Your heels are trying to get closer to the ground. Your stance is hip width apart. Inhale, jump between your hands, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees, sit deep, arms up, and then exhale, arms down, come to standing position. Now that we are warm, let's start with the juicy part. Inhale, raise your arms, gaze towards your thumb. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, you lift up your chest, and then exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And now it's time for our first plank. So shift your weight forward and come into a plank position. We will stay in each of our planks for a couple of breaths. So as I said before, if it's getting too much for you, just go down on your knees. Draw in your navel and try to anteriorly tilt your pelvis. Make sure that you're not sinking into your shoulder blades, so push the floor away. Shift back into a downward facing dog, and from there we step forward with our right foot. We're getting into a lunge position, so lift up your chest and also keep your left heel lifted. Now we're going to bring our knee closer to the ground 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now we stay down here. Keep breathing. It's almost over. Try to keep your upper body upright. Your shoulder blades are pulling down and together. Exhale, bring your arms to the ground, step back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we're doing the whole thing on the other side. Shift your weight forward. We're going first in our plank. Try to keep your spine as straight as possible. So you pull in your navel and your pubic bone also shifts towards your navel. So you really want to feel the contraction in your center. And don't forget to breathe. Exhale, shift back into your downward facing dog. Take a breath here, and then with your next inhalation, you step forward with your left foot. Lift up your upper body and come into a lunge position. We're again bouncing up and down 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. We stay down. Keep breathing. Keep your upper body upright. Keep smiling. Exhale, place your hands on the ground, step back and get into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump forward, lift your chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up all the way, arms above your head, and exhale, arms down. Inhale, lift up your arms, gaze towards your thumb. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up your chest. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. It's time for plank variation. So shift your weight forward, get first into a plank. Lift up your right arm. It's now better to have a slightly broader stance to balance out your weight a little bit easier. Try to keep your hip parallel to the ground. Exhale, bring your arm back down on the ground and first shift back into a downward facing dog. Take a deep breath here, and then with your inhalation you step forward with your right foot. We will do a little twist. Keep your left hand on the ground, and then with your inhalation you raise up your right arm. Try to keep your hips parallel as well, and your gaze is towards your right arm. Exhale, place your hand again on the ground and step back into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Ready for the second side. Shift your weight forward, get into a plank position, and then lift up your left arm. Remember, try to keep your hip parallel to the ground. Keep breathing, you're strong, you got this. Couple more breaths. Exhale, you bring your hand down, shift back into a downward facing dog. Now step forward with your left leg and we do the twist on this side. So your right arm stays on the ground while you lift your left hand up to the sky. Gaze towards your left hand, and again you try to keep your pelvis parallel to the floor. Exhale, place your hand again on the ground, step back into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And from there we jump or step forward between our hands. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up all the way, arms above your head. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, lift up your arms, gaze towards your thumb. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We will do another plank variation. Shift your weight forward, get into a plank position, and now we will lift up our leg. We'll start on the right side. Try to keep your body more or less parallel to the ground. We tend to shift our weight back over our feet, but we want to stay in this plank position and not in a downward facing dog. So try to keep your shoulders above your hands. Inhale, shift back into a downward facing dog, and then exhale, step forward with your right foot again between your hands. Lift up your body, and then with your exhalation you bend your right knee, you place your elbow on your right thigh, your left arm stretches over your head, so you're building a long line from your left heel into your fingertips of your left hand. Your left foot is turned forward 45 degrees, and you try to keep a 90-degree angle between your upper and lower leg of your right leg. Exhale, bring your left arm down to the floor, your right one as well. Step back into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to do this on the other side as well. So shift forward, get into a plank position, and then you lift up your left leg. Keep your body more or less parallel to the ground, so your shoulders should be above your hands. I know this is hard, I know you might be tired, but you can do this. Keep breathing, keep your focus. Inhale, shift back into a downward facing dog. Exhale, step forward with your left foot. Inhale, lift your body, and then exhale, you bend your left knee, place your elbow on your thigh. Your right arm is stretched above your head. Find length from your right heel to your right fingertips. Try to stack your hips above each other so that your right side is completely exposed to the sky. and push your left knee to the outside. So make sure it doesn't shift inwards. Keep breathing, feel the length, feel the stretch. Exhale, bring your hands back to the ground, step back into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step or jump between your hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up all the way, arms above your head. Exhale, arms down. I've got some more fun exercises for you. You can do this. Let's start with the next one. Inhale, raise your arms, gaze towards your thumb. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up your chest. Exhale, jump or walk back into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Shift once more into a plank position, and now try to bring your right knee towards your right arm. Also try to pull your heel towards your bum. Keep lifting your knee, try to get it as high as possible and as close as possible to your right arm. Keep breathing. Inhale, shift back into a downward facing dog. Exhale, step with your right foot between your hands. Lift up your chest, bring your left heel to the ground, and we're coming into Warrior One. Push your left hip forward and bend your right leg in a 90-degree angle. Lift your arms above your head, gaze towards your thumbs, pull in your navel, try to have a straight spine, and keep breathing. Exhale, bring your arms to the ground, step back into Chaturanga, and then inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Ready for the other side. With your inhalation, you come into a plank position and bring your left knee as close as possible to your left arm. Lift your heel and pull it closer to your bum. Draw in your navel and keep breathing. Try to bring your left knee as high as possible and as close as possible to your arm. Inhale, shift back into a downward facing dog. Exhale, step forward between your hands and lift up your upper body. We're coming to a warrior on the other side. Both heels are on the ground. Push your right hip forward and then bend your left knee. If possible, you get into a 90-degree angle. Raise your arms above your head and gaze towards your thumbs. Pull in your navel, also draw in your rib cage, and you can shift your pubic bone up towards your belly so that your spine is as straight as possible. Exhale, place your hands on the ground, step back into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump or step between your hands. Lift your chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up all the way, arms above your head. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, raise your arms above your head, gaze towards your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up your chest. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Get into a plank position. And now lift up your right leg, but bring your knee now closer to your left arm, so across your body. Once more, also try to pull your right heel up towards your bum and draw in your navel. Keep breathing. Exhale, shift back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, step forward between your hands. Lift up your body. Now we're coming into Warrior Two. Your arms are on shoulder height. bend your right knee, again 90-degree angle. Now we want to keep our hips open. So imagine you want to keep in one line with your front leg, with your right leg. Keep pushing your right knee to the outside, pull in your navel, make sure that you're not getting into a hollow back. Your gaze is over your right hand. Exhale, bring your arms to the ground, step back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. You already know the drill, we repeat this on the other side. Get into a plank position with your inhale, lift up your left leg and bring it closer to your right arm. Pull your left heel up towards your bum. Your navel is still pulled in and you keep breathing. Inhale, push back into a downward facing dog. Exhale, step forward between your hands, lift up your upper body. Both heels on the ground, you bring your arms on shoulder height and then you bend your left leg. If possible, you get into a 90-degree angle. Keep your belly pulled in and make sure you're not getting into a hollow back. Push your left knee to the outside and your hip stays in one line with your left leg. Exhale, you bring your arms to the ground, step back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, walk or jump between your hands. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up all the way, arms above your head. Exhale, arms down. Get ready for another round. Inhale, lift your arms, gaze towards your thumb. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up your chest. And exhale, get back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward into a plank position. Lift up your right leg and try to bring your right knee closer to your chest. So now you want to bring your leg, or rather your knee, between your arms. Pull your heel up closer to your bum. Your navel is pulled in and you keep breathing. Exhale, place your foot on the ground and try to bring your whole weight on your right leg. Lift up your left leg, bring tension in your leg and try to get into a balanced position with your whole body. If possible, you want to get into a horizontal line, so your upper body and your left leg build a horizontal line. Try to keep your hips parallel to the ground. Exhale, you bring your arms back to the ground and then you step back, get into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We move to the left side. Shift into a plank position. Lift up your left leg and draw your knee closer to your chest. Again, you want to pull your heel up towards your bum. We're almost done with our planks, so just keep doing it a little bit longer. We're almost done with it. Place your left foot on the ground and bring your whole weight into your left leg. Then you raise your upper body. If possible, you want to form a horizontal line with your upper body and your right leg. Keep your hips parallel to the floor. So if necessary, you have to push your right hip a little bit down. Exhale, arms to the ground. Step back into chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump or step forward between your arms. Lift up your chest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come up all the way, arms above your head, gaze towards your fingers. Exhale, arms down. You're almost done. Take a deep breath. Inhale, lift up your arms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up your chest. Exhale, get back into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We will do a side plank, starting with our right side. Shift your weight over your right hand and then place a straight line. If possible, you can also lift up your left arm. If you can, try to stack your feet above each other, so your left foot on top of your right foot. If you need it, don't hesitate to bring your right knee to the ground. Exhale, place your left hand on the ground, come into plank, and then into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Your inhalation, you shift once more into a plank position, but only to lower yourself until you're lying completely on the floor. We will do something for our back. Stretch out your arms so that they're next to your head, and then inhale, lift up your arms and your legs. While you're lifting, try to feel the length in your body, so stretch into your toes, stretch into your fingertips. Exhale, place your hands next to your chest, tuck your toes under, push up into Chaturanga, float into upward facing dog, and then exhale, downward facing dog. You repeat the side plank now on the left side. Shift your weight on your left arm. Stack your right hip above your left hip, and if possible also bring your right foot above your left foot. If you can, lift up your right arm towards the sky. If you need it, do not hesitate to bring your left knee to the ground. Exhale, place your right hand on the ground, shift into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, you shift forward into a plank to get down into Chaturanga and completely on the ground. We will do the same back exercise again. So with your inhalation, you lift up your arms, your chest and your legs. Try to keep your arms shoulder width apart, not farther away from each other. And try to keep your legs and your arms completely straight. Exhale, place your hands next to your chest, tuck your toes under, inhale Chaturanga and upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump or walk forward between your hands, and exhale, forward fold. You did it. We arrived at our cool down. We keep hanging here in the forward fold a little bit. If you want, you can take hold of your elbows. Keep relaxing in this forward fold. With your inhalation, you slowly roll up until you're upright again. You lift your arms once more above your head and then exhale, arms down. Take a deep breath here. For the cool down, we will get down on our mat. To get there, we will once more lift up our arms above our head. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up your chest. Exhale, step back into Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Place both of your knees on the ground. Stretch out your arms in front of you. And now you want to get closer with your chest to the ground. You can either just place your head on the ground, or if possible, and if you really reach easily the ground with your chest, you place your chest on the ground and then your chin is on the ground as well. Your gaze is between your hands. We are stretching here our shoulder girdle, Make sure it doesn't hurt in your shoulders. If it does so, you went a little bit too far. So then take it easier, just place your head on the ground. With your inhale, you slowly get up and shift your weight back over your heels. You're coming into a child's pose. The big toes are touching each other. Your knees can be together or apart. Your body is resting either on your thighs or between them. Shift your weight once more forward into your hands to get into a downward facing dog. And then you step forward between your hands. Bend your knees, lower your buttocks, and come into a seated position. Bring your right leg above your left leg and your right heels next to your left hip. You can stay like that, or you do the same with your left leg so that your left heel gets closer to your right hip. From there, if possible, you bend forward, completely relax into the position. You should not feel any discomfort in your left knee. If so, come up again and straighten your left leg. Breathe in and lift up your upper body. We will add a twist to it. Breathe in, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist over your right side. Your left arm should then get in front of your right leg. Your right arm is behind your hip to help you maintaining an upright position. With your inhalation, your gaze and your body goes back to center, and then we will add something for our shoulders as well. We will try to grab our hands behind our back. It doesn't matter if you cannot take hold of your own hands, but if you don't want to do this exercise, you can also grab with your left hand your right elbow and try to bring your right elbow like this closer to your head. Exhale, release the arm position, disentangle your legs. You can also shake it out if you want to. And you repeat this sequence on the other side. You bring your left leg across your right leg with your heel next to your right hip. And if you can, you do the same with your right leg. With your exhalation, you bend forward and try to completely relax in this position. If you feel any discomfort in your right knee, you get out of the position and straighten your right leg. You can do the entire sequence also with your right leg straightened. Inhale, lift up your upper body, lengthen your spine, and with your exhalation you twist to the left side. Your right arm is placed in front of your left thigh or knee, and your left arm is behind your hip. Enjoy this little twist in your spine. Inhale, turn back to the center, and now we will also do the stretch for our shoulders on this side. If you cannot easily grab your hands behind your back, and if this exercise doesn't feel nice for your particularly right shoulder here, you can just keep your left arm reaching down your spine, and then you place your right hand on your left elbow and support this movement a little bit. In any case, try to sit as upright as possible. Exhale, you can lower your arms and also disentangle your legs again. Shake out your legs if you want to. One last stretch before we move over to our final relaxation. your legs are straight, your feet are flexed, and then with your inhalation, you lengthen your spine. With your exhalation, you fold forward. You do not have to touch or reach your feet or toes. And if sitting upright is your challenge, then you stay seated upright. We want to feel the stretch in our calf muscles, in our hamstrings. Inhale, lift up your chest. Exhale, release the position. Time to relax. So find a comfortable position on the ground. You lie on your back. If needed, you get something to cover your body. Your feet are falling apart. Your arms are next to your body. Your palms are facing upward. Scan your body and make sure that everything is perfect. If something is not yet perfect, then take the necessary steps to change that. Breathe in and out deeply. And with your exhalation, you allow your body to sink deeper into the ground. Slowly, you can start moving your body again. Whatever movements you want to take is fine. And when you're ready, you roll your body on your right side and stay there for a moment. With the help of your left arm, you push yourself up and get into a seated position. Thank you very much for following along this power yoga class. I hope you liked it. If so, then give it a thumbs up and follow my channel so that you do not miss out on any other content that I will provide. For now I say thank you for watching and servus!